Hi everybody, welcome back to Amy's Art Table. I'm here to paint some donuts with you today. So grab a comfy seat and some watercolor supplies and we'll get started. We're going to paint some donuts today. It's going to be super fun and we're going to use whatever colors we want, but I'm going to give you a few ideas of different techniques you can use to paint donuts. So if you have purchased my kit, you would have received something like this that has some circles for the placement of your donuts on a blank piece of watercolor paper. Now you can simply use a pencil and trace a lid of around the same size and set up your own watercolor paper. Or again, if you have the kit, you're already set up. So we're going to start with some different techniques here. I think I'm going to start with the green donut. Green's my favorite color. It's right around Thanksgiving now when I'm shooting this. I've been baking pies with my kids all day and it's been so much fun. So donuts just fits right into today's baking day. All right, so I'll show you different techniques and then you will be able to choose your own colors and make your own donut painting. All right, so I'm grabbing some water. You may also want to have like a paper towel handy, just in case you have a spill. All right, so I'm going to start with that green donut, and I think what I would like to do is I want to grab a darker color green. I'm going to use two different colors of green. One is going to be, this bright yellowy green. And then the other one is going to be a slightly darker green that I mixed myself. So I'm going to bring a little bit of that darker green into my light green over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a little edge here. So this will be sort of where the frosting stops. So go all the way around the donut, but on this side, I'm making a little edge because the donut, if you look at a donut straight down, you're going to realize that it doesn't have frosting necessarily all over it all the time. Sometimes you can see a bit of the edge, and so that's what we're going to show in this painting. It's going to be fun. All right, so I'm doing a darker green edge here. Grab that same color that I just made, or if you don't want to do green, that's totally cool too. You pick your own color, but you want to do a dark and a light. So here's my dark, funny little frosting for this donut. And then mix up a little tiny bit more of that. I want to find the center also. So something like that. I'm going to make it a little uneven because donuts are not exactly perfectly circular if you look at them. All right, so then I'm going to spread out this nice darker green, a little bit here and a little bit there. And then rinse my brush and grab the lighter green. So now I'm going to make more puddle in this light green here. And then I'm going to start dropping in this light green. I'm going to let the two colors blend. It's turning out nicely. I'm going to fill that all in so it's a nice thick frosting. And I love that. I think that looks great. So you have two colors, one's darker, one's lighter, and they're going to kind of blend and come together. We'll leave this part blank here and the center of the donut blank, and we'll come back later with a nice golden tan color and fill in the actual donut part of it, not the frosting part. All right, so moving right along, I'm going to go and work on a purple donut right next to it. So once again, I'm going to choose a lighter color and a darker color. Okay, so with the light purple, I'm going to go right up to the edge, same kind of thing as last time. So the circles that are traced give us this nice idea of where the donut should, around where the donut should stop. Okay, so this nice light color. Now I'm going to do something kind of funny here. I'm going to take this light color and I'm going to draw some larger circles, but I'm going to leave them blank. I'm just using a little bit of color at a time. And then I'm going to draw the center of my donut, again, an uneven shape. This one I'm drawing a little bit bigger than this one. All right. And then again, drawing some of these little circle shapes. These will be darker sprinkles in a little bit, but right now they're just going to be left alone. And then I'm just going to start filling in all around. And it's okay if you get a little bit into your circles. That's all right. It's going to bleed a little bit. See, I'm not even really putting any more pigment on my brush. I'm just using what's there. Drop in a few bits of darker. Yeah, and then we'll just leave that. We'll come back in a minute to this guy. Well, let's let him work on drying. We'll move over to this one. This time, same type of thing. I'm going to take an even lighter green, or you could do a yellow. And we'll add sprinkles to this guy later, but for now, same thing. And also feel free to pause my videos if you are needing to catch up for a minute. That is totally cool. I have a ton of videos on YouTube. So if you're watching this and you've purchased one of my kits, I want you to know I have tons of free watercolor tutorials on YouTube. Go ahead and check those out. They're really super fun. Okay, so that one I'm just painting a nice light yellowy green. And then I'm just going to keep moving right along. What I'm doing is I'm letting these guys dry. This guy is pretty much done, but this guy will have sprinkles and this guy will have sprinkles. This one just has cool colors of green for frosting. I'm going to move up to here. I'm going to do a pink donut. Same kind of thing with the edge, still leaving these edges. I think on almost all the donuts we're going to do that. I'm going to get a bright pink fuchsia color here. I'm looking for that hot pink. And then I'm going to leave a little edge. Leave a little center. Sort of painting this in pink, but this time I'm going to try to stay to one side. I'm going to leave this guy a little bit more open. Show you what we'll do with him in a little bit. And the idea here is to make each donut look different. So I'm giving you ideas that you can use and then you can just take off with them. Okay, a little bit of pink over here. I'm going to do just some sort of stomping. Just stomp, stomp, stomp with my brush. Okay, so something like that. Mostly pink, leaving some room for sprinkles. This is going to be one of those donuts that they like dipped while the frosting was, or the icing was still wet. And then next one is going to be a reddish orangish color. So we're just going color crazy here. Find the center. I'm going to go ahead and draw some little rectangles on this guy. So this is going to have these like longer rectangular sprinkles. So I'm placing them quickly. You can place them anywhere on your donut. Does not matter. You can put them all on the bottom. You can put them all everywhere like I am. Okay, go back to that color, get more color. Now that gives me a guide of how close I can get to these sprinkles. Find my edge here with my donut. Just kind of going right around these sprinkles. Oops, got into that one, that's okay. In watercolor, if we make a mistake, we can just work it into something else. So I accidentally went over that sprinkle, but I'm just gonna make another one right next to it. These circles are also really helpful because if you go ahead and make this outline, then your watercolor will really stay within that outline. As you're blending it, it won't really go past where your page isn't wet. So that's super helpful to have these circle guides. Okay, so I'm just moving right along, painting around my rectangles. Painting this all kind of this reddish orange watercolor. And then I will go ahead and let this guy dry. And we'll come back to him as well. And then last one is gonna be this silly little blue striped one. So let's see, we grab a blue and we're gonna pretend like there's going to be frosting on this guy. So I'm gonna make a big old zigzag. And then we need to find our center here. And so this is gonna be a little bit tricky, but we're gonna do something like this, zigzagging back and forth with a little thickness to it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we're just practicing some techniques. So you just do your best and see how we can get this to turn out. Kind of like giant ends here. Okay. Something like that. Even mine is not perfect. Okay, and then grabbing a little bit more color. You can choose to go ahead and color in that zigzag that you just drew, or like I'm going to do, I'm going to color the space that's left in between, and then that would be the second color of icing that's just zigzagged on. So it's like someone frosted it blue, and then someone came along and then just did a nice zigzag on top of it. So you can leave your zigzag white, or we can do a light color green, or whatever you want here. Again, we're just trying different things. So this got a little haywire over here. So it's something like that. So we're not worrying about being perfect. We're just trying different techniques. All right, so now for some sprinkles. This guy should be fairly dry by now. So I'm going back to purple. And I'm going to go ahead and make some purple dots that are darker. Going to have some nice dark purple sprinkles on the light purple donut. You can add a few more too. Something like this. If you get into a wet spot, you can tell this is wet because it just looks a little darker and it's not completely dry. And if you get into those wet spots, you're gonna get it bleeding like this, which to me is kind of cool, but if you want it to look more like sprinkles, maybe you don't want to get it like too blendy. Okay, so there's some dark, let's call them jumbo sprinkles. And let's move on to this guy. We'll do some dark blue tiny dot sprinkles. And so I'm just going to take the end of my brush and just sort of drop little dots on. And this is a super fun painting. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. I love donuts and I love the donut kit. You should definitely check out the donut kit if you have a moment. You can find me on Instagram on Amy's Art Table, or you can find me on Etsy on Amy's Art Table. All right, so there's those. And then we will move on up to this more colorful. This is going to have a few different colors. Let's start with some purple. And this donut is just going to be a crazy one. So I'm just going to put fun little sprinkles just wherever I see fit. Do lots of purple. And then I go back with yellow and blue. So let's see, maybe we'll just grab this darker yellow. Yellow. I'm not going right over the purple ones I just did. Otherwise, they're going to blend together. And then we'll get some blue. So this is just a really fun donut right here. This is a party donut. Really good birthday party one. Okay. And then looks like I added a little bit of this red too. So this guy is just really, really fun. Okay, so the next donut that we're going to work on is going to be the rectangular guy. We'll put some blue sprinkles. Again, you use whatever color you want. I'm just giving you some ideas here. Go ahead and fill in these little rectangles. And hopefully your painting is drying as we're going along here. This last one, I'm going to go ahead and add a yellow-green stripe. This is kind of like a cool lightning donut. All right. So now at this point, we're almost done. We're just going to grab some tan, a tan golden brown color. So this will be the actual dough of the donut underneath the icing. So we'll just go ahead and paint these edges tan so we can see a little more of the side of the donut. And just gives it a little bit more character here too. Okay, and then go ahead and paint the inside of the circle, something like that. Same over here. Same with every single donut. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfectly circular because the donut probably isn't exactly perfectly circular. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going through all of these donuts here. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed learning how to paint these donuts. I had a great time painting these today, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel and check out my Instagram and check out my website and Etsy for all kinds of more fun tutorials, lots of free videos, and lots of fun ideas. I'll see you next time.